Hi, this is Rex,
And this is Cole.
and let's talk about like Madden and sports games.
Oh
You,
yeah, the sports ball memes. We got the ball in the basket.
2021's been out for a while now,
Yeah.
and I like it. I'm surprised. I didn't think I like it as much as I do. I think it's better than 2020 by a lot. Uh, there are things that are really like stupid and annoying, but there's something like compared to like even 2K. It's It's yeah. It's I think
Mm,
it's there's some good things about it for sure.
mm. Honestly, while it's in character for me to hate on something like Madden, I think that it's just definitely one of those things where it's not for me.
Huh?
But I definitely see the appeal of it. And as long as it doesn't like force microtransactions down your throat,
It
I
does,
pray.
dude. They
And
do
that
have
we
my.
talked about that too.
Well, you can. I pretty much ignore it,
Mhm.
and it's fine. But
But
yeah,
it's there.
yeah, yeah.
Is it like does it
It's
get in the
not
way
as
of gameplay?
it's not as bad as
NBA.
yeah 2K.
Yep.
But the thing is, I don't play a lot of the like the more monetization type of stuff. So
Yeah. I mean, yeah, and you seem like you're pretty good at avoiding it, or at the very least, just not like engaging with that.
yeah, I know it's where people like to put their money in and stuff like that, but yeah, it's not as up in your face as the 2K for sure,
hmm
where they constantly be asking you for more money.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I heard like it's when we talked about it again. Like that one was specifically bad, but yeah, no. Like this one, it sounds like it's definitely not what I
I
would be
think it looks.
interested in.
I like how much the new generation graphics looks way better than
Mm.
the
You can
previous
see
gen.
every pore on that man's face.
Uh, it's pretty clean if you take a look at it. It's pretty yeah. Also, the career mode is way better. That's the I actually like career modes in sports games, which is like
Mhm.
kind of like RPG mode of sports
Yeah.
games, which is you play as an athlete and you try to make it to be an all star usually or whatever or Hall of Famer or something of the like, be
Mhm.
an NBA legend or be,
There's a game. Uh, there's like a. I know this is going to be random, but
huh?
there's a game called I think it's Power Pros. Let me see.
Hmm.
Power Pros Konami, and it's a baseball game. And the idea is that like while there is just play baseball with your friends,
Huh?
it's actually built around like um, a management kind of game.
Huh?
It's Japanese, so it's all Japanese baseball teams or just generic fake basketball teams.
Huh?
Yeah, it's called Jikyo Powerful Pro Yaku, or in America it's just called Power Pros, because they did release one in America, and those are cool. Like I'm not against sports games at all. Actually, I think that there's a lot of unique things you can do with that you can't do with any other game. I just think that you got to add a little bit of fantasy,
I
a little
miss
bit of
like the old like cool sports games where they used to make you like there used to be monsters and stuff like that, and mutants
Mhm.
and or robots.
Oh yes, yes, yes. Like the early crap. Yes, yes, yes,
Yeah,
yes, 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 yes.
that was
Ah,
really I
God.
missed those like in back in
They're
like Sega Genesis era. There was like mutant like you played as like mutant freaks, and you could like
mhm.
You were like just cartoon characters who were like
Yeah.
larger than life, you know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It was kind of like wacky races sort of stuff where it was like
Yeah,
yeah, it was
that
like,
was so much fun. I
yeah, yeah,
miss
yeah.
that.
That stuff, see that if they did that with a sports game, I'd be totally in. Like there was like the Mega Man soccer game and there's the Mario soccer and uh basketball. There's Mario basketball as well, Mario Hoops 3-on-3.
Uh huh.
That one was really weird though cuz that one had Final Fantasy characters in it.
Huh.
Um But yeah, so like, there's a lot of cool stuff that we just don't do anymore. I think the most recent ones I can think of are like, you ever heard of Blood Bowl?
No.
It's a football game based on a tabletop miniatures game that was basically D&D football.
Huh.
So you would build up a team of orcs, elves, whatever, and then you would just play football as a tabletop game, and then eventually as a video game.
That's cool.
Yeah, you should check it out. I think though it might be a little less interesting to you because I think it might be turn based,
Uh-huh.
but it's still an interesting idea. There's also another game called Behold the Kickmen that I don't think did very well, but that game was kind of like a pastiche of like soccer games. So both of those people are still doing it, but it's definitely not as popular. There are also games that are based on fake sports, like it's a sports game, but it's not actually based on any real life sport. Like Pyre is one of those.
Huh.
So they're out there, but they're not as popular anymore for sure. So there's my gamer encyclopedia knowledge popping up again.
Yeah. I was hoping this issue would be more contentious, but apparently you like sports games as well. Just not
No, yeah, like I mean, I'm not
traditional.
against. So
Traditional.
I'm not. Yeah. I guess I'm more of a fan of like sports. I'm not a fan of the modern sports game because the modern sports game is just sports.
Uh-huh.
It's like I can go outside and do that. You know, as much as a disheveled freaking, not healthy person I am, that I can go outside and play sports. But what I can't do is I can't jump 50 feet into the air while my basketball light's on fire.
Yeah, sports skills. I've never seen you do anything physical.
I used to play soccer as a kid.
Really?
And I used to play tennis as well.
Wow.
Yeah. I did stuff.
Okay.
I actually really like tennis.
Tennis
both
games are fun.
as a video game. Tennis games are cool. They're basic. So the way I kind of see tennis games is that they're actually fighting games, but just instead of like punching each other, you're just batting a ball around.
Uh-huh.
There's actually a really good example of that of a game called Lethal League, which is people kind of categorize it as a fighting game, but it's also a sports game because you're not punching each other, you're shooting a little ball at each other. The only difference is instead of the ball getting past you, the idea is to hit the person with the ball.
Huh.
So, but yeah, you're just batting a ball back and forth. It's like Pong, but on steroids. Yeah, like, honestly, sports are just games in the physical world, right?
Uh-huh.
So there really shouldn't... It would stand to reason that making a game based off of those things isn't a bad idea by any stretch of the imagination. It's just when you just try to replicate freaking Monday night Madden football, whatever, it's boring.
Madden's pretty fun. Like,
I mean, I'm sure. Okay, I see. That's I think where we separate though, because I'm like, it's just guys. It's just guys.
Uh-huh.
It tries too hard to be real, and it's not something that you like. If it was like in like a military shooter, right?
Mm-hmm.
Technically, that stuff you could do in real life, but you wouldn't want to because you die. But with this, I mean, you can hypothetically do it and not die because there's so many. Like when people do sports, there's health people, available. Yeah, sure, you're never going to be probably an NFL star, but I mean, the same basic principles apply to playing a game with your buddies, like Ultimate Frisbee or something. Like it's not that interesting. But if you add a little bit of fantasy, a little bit of craziness, then it becomes interesting. Like I think NFL Blitz is a good example of that as well, where it's an arcadey thing. It's a football game, but it's not. It's a little bit more than that.
Well, people like realism too, like Forza and stuff like that. And there's
But can you afford a freaking stupidly expensive car to just trash? In high def. Yeah, see, there it is. There's the fantasy. That's the thing. With a game, right? For me at least, and I think for a lot of people, the thing that can sell it is the fantasy.
Well, being a coach of a franchise or something, or like playing professional sports, that's pretty cool. I'm sure
To be
those
fair,
guys.
you are right.
I'm
You
sure
are right. That is an
these
appeal.
people. I'll give you one thing that you might like about being a professional sport. I'm sure these people get laid all the time.
Well, you're not experiencing that. That's not a part of the fantasy of these games. And
So
you don't know my life.
you're saying we should have that type of game where you experience that. It'd be
I don't
like
necessarily.
professional sports
different kind of
lifestyle game.
Oh my god. No.
That'd be
Okay,
funny.
though I will say you're giving me an idea for a game.
That'd be funny.
Like it's a sports simulator, but it goes way beyond the sports. Like I make like a visual novel dating sim where you play as like a soccer player
Mm-hmm.
who's like super like, you know, he's just super interesting and everybody likes him. You have to play soccer, but also there's a bunch of girls you can date, and you gotta pick your favorite, pick your favorite anime girl. I don't think we really have any disagreements here, other than I just want more wackiness, and then you're like, no, I want to just pretend to be a sports team owner. Which even then, I don't actually think that's
I actually
necessarily
like
bad.
I actually like the mental part of sports. It's kind of like chess with live people. That's what I enjoy about it.
That's also true, because like you have to. The idea of like plays, right, is
Yeah.
that you're essentially sort of. It's like that 1 second, like counter,
Yeah.
counter plays.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you do schemes. You design. You figure out the offense or defense. Even though, in all honesty, a lot of the manners play the same.
Mhm.
It's not that much different, I guess, between all the manners.
Well, it's the plays only really matter for like the first moment, like the first few seconds of a match, right? That could be the entire deciding moment of that round. But like, yeah, like especially in football, it's like you tell these people to go to different positions, they do it, and then they just got to kind of make it work from there. It's just trying to get your guys into an advantageous position.
It's like, do you know what football is like? It's
What?
like a lot of rock paper scissors games.
Yes, it is
Going
exactly.
off
exactly
at
what
the
I'm
same
thinking.
time.
Mhm. Yep.
Yeah. So
I was actually going to say it's kind of similar to fighting games a little bit.
yeah, like if the big rock paper scissors, the first thing is it runs or pass. So if the defense wants to protect against run or pass, they have to pick, and you have to pick the opposite of it. That's like the biggest one. Then you can go, are you going to throw a deep or are you going to throw a short? And depending on what your answer is, the defense has to match that accordingly, or etc. And it keeps on going on, like little nuances like that, on and on. So the left side, right
Yep.
side, you're going to be more, attacking. What region of the map? I mean, the field. The player you're going to utilize, the matchup. Is your player better than their player? And how does the computer act? But the thing is, sometimes I feel like Madden just picks the right play at certain times to counter your play, which is totally BS sometimes, because there's no way they would know that you would pick that play sometimes. But sometimes they like maybe some.
Well, I think that's AI bullshit. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
AI bullcrap to try and get around the fact that you're smarter than a computer.
Yeah.
Like they have to do that occasionally, throw you for a loop to be like, no,
or be too easy.
yeah, or it'd be too easy. Exactly. Yeah.
So.
Yeah, no. Like honestly, there's a lot of interesting design choices that go into making something like this. So yeah, no, they're games. I don't think they're bad. I used to be a lot more like, man, sports games, man, sports ball is bad, and friggin' nerd crap. Sorry. I'll get over it at some point. You did talk about other stuff though. So. Anyway, but
Okay, and also I do want to talk about the career mode. It's way better
Okay, yeah,
than the
sure, 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 sure.
2021
Yeah, go ahead.
2K1. That thing, it's this one they actually like got well they had actors for both, but they had a storyline for this one more and stuff like
Really?
that.
Did you
Wow,
have to save the world?
not really. Well, 2K 2020 had a actually the best storyline I think was maybe it was 2K19 they've had recently, which to memory is the one where Spike Lee directed it, and they actually try to give a F and try to do stuff.
Mhm.
And this one and the new one is so generic. The 2K21 carrier is so generic and so boring that I could not listen to any of the dialogue stuff like that. Even though they got some good actors, the writing is just like at least this
It's like a
honestly, the Madden storyline is not that great or whatever or amazing,
Mhm.
but it's more. It has something more to say at least, and that's what I
Mhm.
enjoyed about it. Otherwise, yeah.
I can't
Anyway,
imagine.
that's just my
I was like,
bit about it, and yeah, I think I like the new Madden. You give it a shot. There is some issues. There's always issues with Madden.
mhm.
And there's always problems, but I think it's better than last year's, and
Yeah,
at least the monetization is not up in your face. It's great.
that's yeah, exactly. Yeah, honestly, if you're happy with it, then I can't really knock you. I do have one question though before we go.
Hmm.
So I was just thinking about this. Are skateboarding games sports games?
Uh,
Because they're kind
yes,
of their own genre.
yes,
See, you think so?
yeah.
You know what? I would say that it is a game about a sport. I actually would put it in a different genre, but I would say that on
It's
its
sport.
face, yes,
Skateboarding is a sport.
skateboarding is a sport. And I would say that it is a game about a sport, but it's not a sports game. It's its own genre. Because
Why?
like Tony Hawk essentially created its own genre.
Well, it's the arcade. Tony Hawk is the arcadey sports game. It's
Yeah,
not.
and then there's skate.
Yeah, and there's more realistic skate simulations
Hmm.
and stuff like that. So
Skate 3, baby.
I still say it's a sports genre.
Hmm. All right.
Maybe it's a subgenre, but it's a genre of
Okay,
sports.
I could go with subgenre maybe. I just think it is kind of like there's no team management or anything. Like I guess if tennis games are
Well, there's
sports
no
games, then I could do
tennis games, wrestling games are sports games, boxing games are sports games. There's no team management.
That's true. That's true. All right. All right. All right. You know what? You've convinced me.
All right, we'll catch you
All right.
guys on some on the next video. Thanks for
Catch you on the flip
watching.
side, babies.
Thanks for watching. Please subscribe.
Thanks for watching.